Now that the United States is going back to some sense of normalcy, I started doing a lot more things that I used to do in the past. One thing that I do on this channel and on the main channel, I used to at least, was do reviews and vlogs of anime conventions. Now you can probably guess why I haven't done that in about 2 years. The last one that I did was pretty fun, and with Anime Expo pretty much being announced, I wanted to get a little more practice and get back into the swing of things. So I wanted to revisit one of my favorite pastimes since I was a young lad, going to anime conventions. I'm assuming you could read the title, but I went to Anime Pasadena. We are also going to bring back the totally unscientific grading scale, because I think now that we're at little...
Saw the door was open. Just let myself in. Nice place you got here. Your walls are kind of barren, but you should probably go to an anime convention and fix that up, huh? Yeah, it's not bad of a place.
So I hesitated to purchase my ticket originally. I found out about Anime Pasadena around the time of Animanga 2021, and I did not want to commit to going if it was just going to be canceled. I purchased my ticket for a grand total of $25, not counting the service fees. So I purchased the single day Saturday convention pass. The full 2-day was $45, which is still fairly reasonable, while the day of convention passes were $30 and full day passes was $55, again, day of. For such a cheap price, this is obviously going to be a smaller convention. I'm not expecting much, but the guest list did surprise me. And I know that the convention hall is fairly big. With that being said, I love that the background image is an extremely low quality image. Like, you can see the artifacts clearly. As the name implies, the convention was held in the Pasadena Convention Center in Pasadena, California. Parking was a nightmare, but I found a good spot for about $9. I usually have a rule that I show up at the time when the doors open. The reason for that is because that is when they start letting people in, and I get to see if anything goes off the rails. And oh boy, did it get off the rails. So it's mandatory that before you enter the convention, you showed your vaccination status or a negative COVID test. I think it was 72 hours before, which is great. That's phenomenal. Doors opened at 10. I showed up in line at 10:15. And here we are in the back of the line. And as you can see, it is moving fairly well. And the reason is because it's not that the line was moving, it's because we were actually being told that we were not in the correct line. So part of the line that we were in got told to go to another part of the line. So now there were 2 lines leading to one area. So here we are moving into a parking structure, not because anyone told us to go into the parking structure, just that's how it kind of just looped around. No one really told us where to go. And as you can see, there is a mass exodus of people coming. And after a while, the people just kept coming. There was a lot of people in this parking structure, which honestly, in hindsight, probably pretty dangerous. And then the convention center crew told us that, hey, this is dangerous, go outside. So they told us to, again, they didn't really tell us where to go, they just said just go outside. So we were just following people, I guess. And here I am walking in the mud. I guess we gotta go to the back of the line over there. This feels like an adventure. And here we are in the back of a line that I'm assuming is the correct line now. Again, there was nearly zero communication between the staff and the convention goers. So here we are looping around another building, and here we are walking around the convention center. It was pretty aggravating that the convention staff did not have a plan prior to the convention. So you're not going to be able to see it. There's an old man on this balcony doing magic tricks. It was phenomenal. Almost done. Here's the convention center sign. We have finally reached the convention grounds. Wait a minute. What's that line? Am I supposed to be in that line? Am I in the wrong line again? Already getting moved? After a while, the convention staff started to fill in the plaza of the convention center with part of the line. They could have definitely used this part before people started showing up. But instead of using it, they stuffed us into a parking structure. Better late than never, I guess. Here we are still waiting in line, and I think I found the source of the Omicron variant. And eventually, we got our vaccination status checked. And here we are getting our pass. Again, weren't really told where to go. Just like, hey, go get your pass. So I guess I just gotta jump into one of these and get my pass. And the grand total of waiting was 2 hours and 32 minutes. And we got our wristband and our vaccination status, and we are ready to start the convention. All right, so now that that's out of the way, let's get to the convention itself. The convention is held in 3 buildings, and they are labeled Hall A through D. Hall A and B are the main hall, while Hall B also has Artist Alley. I do not really like it when they tack Artist Alley to the main hall, but hey, for smaller conventions, it's fine at times. There is also Hall C that hosts special guests and autograph sessions, and Hall D is where the panels are held. Here we are in Hall A, and oh my god, where are the lights? It is, for some reason, super dark. One of the reasons is because the main stage is close by. You have your vendors. You have more vendors in a Ranger Legacy section where you go and do Super Sentai stuff. They also had a large Squid Game area because we completely lost all sense of irony in this country. And next to that was the main stage. This is where music was being played and the fashion show was also held. Hall B is more of the same except brighter. Like I mentioned, I personally like it when Artist Alley and main halls are separated. I understand that the space is limited, especially for these smaller conventions, but I had a great time looking at all the different artists, and yes, I snagged a bunch of business cards. Seriously, at this point, I collect trading cards and business cards. Don't worry, I'm following them all on Instagram, so we're good there. Hall C is where you get those sweet autographs. I didn't get any, but there were a lot of people with pop figures. Here is a dog though, look at him go. Crossing over, we have this huge Pikachu, absolutely massive, and here we have Grogu, you know, my favorite anime character. And don't worry, we do have the Street Preacher. They're just on the other side though. I couldn't hear them, so we're all good. Hall D housed a giant inflatable All Might, which was super cool, as well as a clean bathroom. That gets an A+ in my book. On the bottom floor, we have the gaming tournament area, which could have been a whole lot better. And here's the My Hero Lounge, which is a bunch of tables and 2 pictures. Not the best, honestly. Shout out to you, kid. And there on the bottom floor are the panels. Speaking of panels, because I didn't get there late, I showed up on time, it's just I got in super late, I missed out on a couple of the panels. There was Making Fan Films, Naruto Cast Reunion, and the Dragon Ball Cast Reunion, the Pandemic and Mental Health, streaming during the pandemic, oh hey, I do that too. Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Pokemon all getting Q&A panels with the cast. Stellar panel lineup, honestly. One thing though, no Japanese guests. Again, small con. Cannot get too much. Now the special guests are stacked. My god, we have all the leads of all of those panels listed, and yes, the original voice of Bulbasaur was there. She did many other voices in the 4Kids era of anime in the English market. Why not bring those up? Why the Bulbasaur? Also, Kaylee Mills was there. I could have asked her to sign one of my Emilia Weiss Schwarz cards, but I'll be honest, I forgot. So now that the information is out of the way, let's go over some cool stuff that I did find at the convention. You could skip ahead if you don't want to watch this part. Here's this timestamp so you could go to the final rating and my final thoughts. Here we have a throw blanket of the Avatar: The Last Airbender and Spirited Away. Here's an Organization 13 hoodie. For some reason, I've noticed that there are so many Rem and Ram figures at these anime conventions. I don't know what it is with them. Here's a Taiko shirt made out of pure plastic. If you wear these while you play Taiko, you will be the sweatiest person alive. Here's a Toradora wall scroll, as well as some Quint stuff, and the old man in me is currently crying. Here's Animetopia. It's like I never left Orange County. Yeah, I have a video up of these guys up on the channel if you want to know more about them. Oh, my Weiss senses are tingling. Here's a Meister set and a couple of trial decks. The Meister set was $35. I didn't pick it up. You could probably see it, but there's a Hello Kitty Dreamcast on that pink TV. Here's some card stuff. They know what they have. Everything was priced absurdly high. I do not understand this part of otaku culture, but here's a bunch of dolls. They scare me. I said it before, I'll say it again. Don't buy these blind boxes. They're a waste of money. Here's one of those full print Ahegao shirts, and what's cool about this is that when you purchase this, right next to the booth there's a sex offender registry, so you could sign up without any hassle. It's really nice. And extremely convenient as well. Here we have the Furby cult, but I did not see any long Furby, so are they really the Furby cult? Here's an Itasha, and I can't confirm. This does hurt to look at. As a Haikyuu fan, I approve of this shirt. I do need a tote bag, and here's a super cute one of Paimon. I didn't get any footage, but I did see this shirt walking around Artist Alley, at least what I thought was Artist Alley. And I thought, hey, this actually looks pretty cool, so I picked it up, 40 bucks, shout out to the artist. And here I am wearing the shirt fresh out of the packaging. It is extremely wrinkly. Please don't laugh. So like I mentioned earlier, I did need a tote bag, so I found this one that has a really nice Magikarp design, shout out to the artist. And I need a bigger tote bag so I could fit vinyl records for when I go vinyl record shopping. And the verdict says, it fits, perfect. So in total, I spent about 3 hours at the convention. I got in at 12:30-ish. And while I was leaving, as you could see, there are still people lining up, even though the convention did close at 5. I did want to stay for the Dragon Ball panel, but that was at 4, and I'll be honest, I was a little tired, so I had to call it there. So overall, for 25 bucks, that wasn't too bad. And after that, I got a Naimi approved meal, and I slept for about 3 hours. Alright, so let's get on with the totally unscientific rating scale. We're gonna grade these through the convention center, organization, panels, guests, Artist Alley, and the main halls, and we'll give my final thoughts at the very end. The convention center gets a 3. The actual convention hall itself was just a pretty normal convention area. Nothing too much, nothing too little. It's a normal convention hall. What was nice is that the surrounding areas had restaurants and other amenities. Parking was a little rough though, but if you got there on time or early enough, there was more than enough parking. The bathrooms were very clean. The overall area was pretty nice as well. Organization gets a 1. Do I need to explain why? The communication between the staff and the convention goers were little to non-existent. It felt like they were learning as they were going along. When I got to the front, I was told to get my wristband, but there was no line or anything. We just kind of had a mob together and we just got our stuff. There was also no physical program, at least that I saw. You had to use a QR code to get the program. So through the QR code, accessibility wise, it's not that great because not everyone's phone has prime internet access. And what about the people that are not that tech savvy and don't know how to use QR codes? Because believe me, I had to show my coworkers first what a QR code is and how to use it. Now, we are assuming that most people are technologically literate. That's an assumption though. Also, I like having the physical programs. I don't like whipping out my phone to check where the booths are. Click on another link to check what time the panels are happening. Click another link, where in the convention am I, and stuff like that. Also, I just kind of like having a little souvenir as well. So the panels get a 4. If you're not a fan of English dubs, you're probably going to be skipping these panels. If you're a fan of English dubbed anime, you're probably going to these panels. I think the panels were cool. You get the whole main cast of some of the most popular animes currently. That is really great. English voice actors are just as valid as the Japanese voice actors, especially for younger anime fans. And the reason this gets a 4 is because other than those main large panels, everything else is like, meh, I'm not really that interested. I like the mental health during the pandemic because I'm in the education field. I've read studies and shit about this for school, so this is right up my alley. Guests, I'm gonna give it a 5. Reference what I said earlier about the English dub stuff. And again, this is a small con. I was not expecting this sort of talent and, dare I say, legendary status at this convention. I am giving it some leniency because it is a smaller convention, but holy crap. Good job there. Artist Alley gets a 2. The art was great, do not get me wrong. There really wasn't a strong concentration of artists of what is generally called an Artist Alley. It was kind of just like blended into the main hall. I wasn't sure if what I was seeing was an artist's work or not. The map was honestly misleading. It made it look like there was a strip of just artists there. Not really. There was that strip and then they were just scattered throughout the rest of the hall. But like always, I try to support the artists as much as possible, and the organization here was a bit of a miss for me. The main halls, give them a 2. One of them was really dark, and like I mentioned with the Artist Alley, I wasn't too keen on... People still use that word, right? I think so. I wasn't too keen on having Artist Alley and the main hall in the same building, and my nitpick nitpickiness was justified on just how disorganized the artists were placed. Why was the tournament room so barren and the My Hero Lounge? They made it sound like a little more interesting. Instead, we got a room with some tables and a couple of game cubes. Another reason that I get a 2 is because there was a lot of, and say it with me, trendy Japanese influenced streetwear. Yes, the bane of my existence. This stuff is not for me, but if it is for you, you could bump this score up just a little bit, but it's not for me. Overall, here's the final score. Where it really saved this was the guests for sure. If you're not into the English dubs, this is definitely gonna be lower for you. It will probably be a 2 out of 5 as opposed to a 3 out of 5 for me. The biggest letdown was the organization. The convention hall could have just been organized a whole lot better, especially pre-convention, like before they open, could have been done a whole lot better. There were also some situations between us moving through the lines where people in wheelchairs or other mobility issues are not going to be able to access the line. I had to walk through the mud. How is a person in a wheelchair gonna go through that? I work in the special education field. I just think things like this. We're wrapping up. Here's the thing. Anime is a global phenomenon. It is huge. I am glad that it is part of the popular zeitgeist in the broader nerd culture of the United States. Convention organizers and staff need to be aware of this because there's gonna be a lot of attendees. When I was leaving, there were still people arriving at the convention. They were all lining up in this large area where there definitely could have been a section of the line. Place some tape on the floor or some shit. I don't know. That's what Anime Expo does. What could have also happened is that, this is an accusation that I've seen thrown quite a bit, is that they oversold tickets. That is a possibility. That's what happened in Anime Manga, and the staff of the convention hall and the convention organizers were not prepared for that. There needs to be a plan for a massive crowd of attendance. Everyone needs to be in accordance with it. I do not want to bring up the Astroworld incident, but that is an extreme example of organizers not getting their shit together. Overall, I had a decent time. It wasn't bad, it wasn't good. Got a cool shirt out of it though. I guess that's a plus. Oh, and next time, get a cooler mascot, guys. This thing looks lame. And with that, this has been Lunchbox5930. Subscribe if you want, like and comment to help me out in the algorithm, and I will see you all in the next con.